Hi guys, good afternoon. Just got midday. I've got oil up. Really following on from the briefing just about this whole resistance area. I think it might have hit that level, yeah, an early trade, 41.49. Just the lows from before. Seems a great place to take profit really from an area where people were long. Where we close the week will be key. Do we reject that 3rd of September low and get below 40.28 or do we get above 41.49? Those are the two smaller term trades that I'd be looking at. Obviously intraday, as we go lower down the time frame, you can see the reaction that we had in sort of around 8:30. Decent push of that, and we have pushed lower since. Bringing that next level in, then the 40.28, you can see it was pretty choppy price action, to be honest, but that would be an obvious level to look at, along with that double top from overnight on the 16th and also the 17th yesterday, of course, midday, this sort of time. Would be another area to consider. On the sort of the false break of these lows, I think it's always worth keeping an eye on that. There's no guarantee that it has actually broken that level, in my opinion, yet. We want to see how it does unfold. The pound, you can see here, just choppy, isn't it? It is choppy. Let's have a look, see if we can get a trend line on those lows. Yes, I would say that's worthwhile having on as a bit of a guide from the low of yesterday. But when we sort of look at this on the longer time frame, obviously it's all about those longer time frame closes and what happens with that. Really, it's just lining up at the moment, and for me, it can't be a long until we get a daily close above sort of the mid 130s on the futures. Whereas if we do push lower today, it sets up quite nicely for a short and certainly towards sort of the 129 and below area. So yeah, keep a watch on that to how we close the day, which of course means the week. But yeah, basically the high of yesterday, almost the high of today as well. Feels like decision time is coming for the pound, and maybe the end of the week is going to be that. But yeah, keep an eye on that trend line, because if that goes, it might start the move lower, as long as you get the confirmation, of course. Euro dollar, obviously a decent little push yesterday from those lows, reversing pretty much the FOMC move lower. This for me is again, it's about that longer time frame support point, which was marked up here from that trend line from really the month of August as well. Intraday, I think, just having a look at the price action we had around 118.40s, that looks pretty nice to me as an area of support, along with the pivot and a previous double top from yesterday early in the session. That would be a point where I'd look to potentially go long, intraday, back up to maybe the lows of this morning. To the upside areas to consider, today's high and some resistance from on the 16th, worth having a look at above there, because of course we already tested it. The next key level really would be the high of the 16th. But like the pound, this market for me is one where it's set up nicely for a break either way, and that break for me has to, for the bulls, they want price above those highs we just talked about, coming in around 119.17, and the bears below now this trend line. I think that's where you would get at least a better move above towards the high of the year, below towards the 3rd of August, and then even a bigger move towards 115. We'll see. Equities, the longer time frame 50-day moving average across the board for both a couple of I think the Nasdaq is just sort of flirting on it as well, but yeah, you can see that's holding up play quite nicely. Decision time for me comes at daily close below that or above 32.24. There's still plenty of time left in the day. Quadruple witching, of course, to keep an eye on, but for me, it's like the pound. It's a long above here, it's a short below there. In between, it could get messy, so just be careful of that. But the weekly closes are key, so keep an eye out on the video on Sunday, where we can talk about that in a bit more detail.